We're here at the intersection of Higdon Ferry Road with Crawford and Emery Streets, and with me today is City Engineer Gary Carnahan. Welcome, Gary.
Hi, Terry.
Well, we've done a few segments together, but this is the first that we have done since the completion of this very big project on Higdon Ferry Road.
Right, it's exciting to see the traffic already loving the easier intersection here from the when we replaced the old Crawford intersection up above and brought the road down to connect directly into Emery to the high school. A lot of school buses come and go through this intersection. I have a friend who drives a bus, and he thanks me very much for the improvements to the roadway.
Well, that thanks is probably indication that this may be people's favorite project now that it's completed, but it may have been one of their least favorite projects while it was underway. This was a massive project, wasn't it?
It really is. This project has actually been in planning since 2005, and it started at Highway 7 South, and it's been built in 3 phases all the way here to Crawford Avenue, and a cost of almost $20 million totally, including the roadway construction, right-of-way acquisition, relocating all of the utilities involved. All that adds up to almost $20 million. And the good news for the city is that the city's portion of that was only about $3 million. So it's been a great investment for the city, both in safety for the travelers. It used to be a 2-lane narrow road, now we have 5 lanes. But also economic development and a gateway into the city for our visitors who come to the city every year.
So it's truly a significant return on investment.
Absolutely. One of the best we've ever done, I think.
And people have been hearing about the widening of Higdon Ferry Road for years. As you explained, it's been happening in phases. But what does the widening actually involve in terms of how many lanes, etc.?
We, as I said before, originally it had 2 narrow lanes with no sidewalks and hardly any shoulders, and then steep ditches for the drainage. Now it has 5 travel lanes, 2 bike lanes, and 2 wide sidewalks on each side. So it was increased in width, I don't know, 2.5, 3 times wider than it used to be.
Which meant a considerable acquisition of right-of-way along the way, didn't it?
It sure did. I think there were about 70 property owners that we had to purchase right-of-way from. And the right-of-way itself, let me see, they're purchasing the right-of-way actually cost almost $4 million just to purchase right-of-way from property owners.
Mm-hmm. And people could see that as the construction was underway. There's just a dramatic change in the way the street looks. Now let's talk about what's right behind us. This whole interchange that includes Crawford, where the way it used to be problematic, the way it came out onto Higdon Ferry Road, how exactly has that changed, and how does it tie into Emery?
We purchased this corner up above and rerouted Crawford Street down so that it lined up directly with Emery, and redid, as you can see, all these new signal lights so that every turn is a protected turn now, left and right, right turn lanes, left turn lanes in every direction, and much safer. Some people would wait at that little 2 dead-end Crawford intersection and then actually take risks trying to pull out because they had to wait so long to turn. This is much safer. And
when you combine that with perhaps racing season, this could definitely pose some hazards both to pedestrians and motorists in this area.
Exactly. We're probably only a half mile from the from Oaklawn Race Park, so this is an important way to get there.
And obviously traffic is starting to change now that Higdon Ferry Road is much more convenient and efficient, hasn't it?
It has. People coming in from the south. I think we have almost 3 million visitors a year. A lot of them come in on Highway 7 South, so they're when they get up by the mall, they're getting on Higdon Ferry to come through town rather than all the stoplights on Central Avenue.
Not to mention the bicyclists, which we have quite a contingent here in Hot Springs that now can enjoy the results of this project too.
They're very happy about it. Ken Freeman, our trails coordinator, is very excited about it. So.
Yes. Let's talk about some of the difficulties and challenges related to the project. You had a few along the way?
We have, especially I think on this particular section, we had a large drainage box culvert we had to totally replace here. We had to build, as you can see across the road, retaining walls here, and over on the other part of the project we had to build some high retaining walls. We had a lot of utilities in this particular area. There was almost $1 million worth of utilities just in this short section that had to be relocated. This was kind of like where all the utilities came together. And other things, I'm trying to think, but retaining walls, and we had to do a lot of creative reworking of driveways for the commercial businesses here.
So that
Very
they can all get
difficult
their
section.
customers in and out.
Right.
So as far as engineering challenges over the years since you've been with the city, this has got to be rating as one of the top.
One of the very most difficult, absolutely.
Wow. Well, so there were lots of challenges to the project, but overall, the project is obviously delivering benefits to customers, to residents and visitors every day.
Absolutely, and we can see the retail growth along the Higdon Ferry corridor is proof of that.
Yes.
So, absolutely.
Okay, so what about the overall project when we're talking about considering the area from Highway 7 South to Crawford?
From Highway 7 South to Crawford, about, that was about 3 miles and cost about $19 million. This particular last section cost about $4 million. The roadway work was actually about $2.2 million, but there were so many, there was almost $1 million in utility relocates, and then more than $1 million in right-of-way acquisition. So a $4 million project that was really only about 1,800 feet long. So very high dollars per foot, but a great benefit.
And I assume very close working with, you're closely working with the highway department throughout the project, as this is State Highway.
State Highway 88, and without the highway department, we couldn't have done it. As I said, the city invested $3 million, the highway department picked up about $15 million from the Federal Highway Administration. So we're very fortunate to have the highway department here making this all happen.
What a huge improvement for Hot Springs. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, just that I've enjoyed being part of it, and again, we've had so many positive much positive feedback from the community. It's been a pleasure to work on it.
Well, and if you haven't driven through this area in a while, you will be surprised at how different it is now to get from Crawford or Emory onto Higdon Ferry Road. And as you say, it's much safer and it's much more efficient flow than it was before.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for giving us a recap as we finish up this very big project for the city of Hot Springs. It's changing the flow from Central Avenue, some of it coming over to Higdon Ferry now, giving people options as they get around the city and providing economic development in terms of new business.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you again for the recap, and let's get together again as we talk about other improvements through the city of Hot Springs.
Look forward to it.
Thank you. Next week we'll bring you more city news.